Hey guys, what's going on? It's Evade here, and I'm bringing you guys another gameplay commentary. Today we're playing Raid, Capture the Flag. This is a league play game with two of my friends, and you'll see me switch off guns here, so don't mind that. Apologize, this started a little late. The recording process took a while to start up, and I didn't want to, stop playing, so I just let it go, and it started up here, so this is where you're going to start and watch it. Um, and here, I try to make a video for you guys showing how to play AR and how I can switch my roles around and stuff. And that's what I was going to do a commentary on. But I ended up making a different commentary, and I ended up switching back to my SMG roots. And the reason is, I'm not used to AR. I can do it. I mean, sure, anyone can pick up an AR and shoot it and get a kill with it, and that's fine. But to be honest, I'm just not that guy who can adapt to a role quickly. No one really is, and I'm not saying it's fast to adapt to a role. All I'm saying is that I just can't leave my SMG roots. I'm more of an aggressive player, and it just fits your playstyle, and it's really all that counts. In this commentary, I really want to talk about sticking with your roles and sticking with your part in your team. Now, let's start with sticking with your roles. So sticking with your role. Now, if you're on a team or if you're not on a team, but if you're on a team and let's say you drop a player, right? So say you're on a team and you have a Slayer, an Anchor, and two OBJs with subs, and you end up dropping one of your anchors, right? You drop the Anchor for whatever reason. He can't play, he's bad, or he's sick. Maybe you're going to a tournament and in the next month and you can't travel, but instead of keeping him, you just drop him. Something like that. You have to, and then you guys pick up another OBJ player though. So your captain wants you to transfer over to a new role and to be the next anchor, and he asks you to take over that lead and to be the anchor and switch from an SMG OBJ to an anchor role. Now, if you think about it, those roles are almost polar opposites of each other, because in SMG you want to be aggressive and push in the spawns, and you really want to get the hard point or the flag, and you want to run it, and you want to get kills at the same time and rack up score streaks, but you also want to play aggressive and be smart. Not saying you don't want to be smart as an anchor either. Of course, as an anchor, you want to be smart. They're probably one of the smartest players on the battlefield, in my opinion. But an anchor role is a little bit different because you don't go in the hard point or you get the flag. You generally want to stay outside of the objective area, and you want to just pick people off from a distance in a way. You want to clear out the cutoffs for your teammates, and you also want to get the spawns if it's going to be a hardpoint game. So it's a little bit different. It's a little hard to understand at first, especially adapting from OBJ to anchor. If you don't know the spawn points and the anchor points on the maps, it's going to be really difficult. Now, when I first started off playing Black Ops 2, I actually was an anchor. I did it because the MA and AN was just so good that I really loved it. It was easy to do for me. It came naturally. But I switched to the MSMC and the PDW, and when they got nerfed, I kept with it because the MSMC, I just switched back to it and it was fine. But I kept it, and I just decided to be an OBJ, and I got really good at OBJ, and I just stayed OBJ. So that's what happened, and I want to say, stick with your role. Don't switch because you need, if you need a switch, that's fine. But honestly, your team should not be picking up another OBJ player when you need an anchor or a Slayer, an AR player. You shouldn't be doing that. You should tell your captain and talk to him about it. But if it comes down to the last chance where you have to switch, give it a try. It's definitely harder to switch, I believe, than it is to stay, obviously. But definitely give it a shot. I tried being anchor for about 2 days, and it didn't work out for me just because I'm not an AR player anymore. I'm not used to the feel anymore. I thought it would be easy to adapt back into it, but it didn't work out. So it didn't work out for me, but I had a couple good games where I did keep spawns really good. I did get a lot of good kills. As long as you're good at it, that's fine. I want to say stick with your roles. I see a lot of pro teams too. They also switch up their players' roles, and I feel like that's good. But if they don't know but they know what they're doing too. They know how to play that role. If you don't know how to play that role, don't switch it up. It's plain and simple. So that's what I wanted to say. For sticking with your roles, don't change. if it comes down to a point where you're gonna get kicked off the team, I mean, give it a shot, change, do your best, obviously. But if it comes down to a point where it's like, you know, you just want to change, I say stick with your roles, but give it a shot. I mean, give it a shot if you definitely really want to, but I wouldn't completely change your role unless you're doing terrible on your old role. Like if you're an OBJ and you don't get the hard points and you just do bad at it, then definitely switch, give it a shot. But if you're good at your role and your team needs you on that role, don't go to your team and say, you know, I'm going to switch, because like that's just letting your team down, and then your team has to find another player, or they have to adapt their play style around you, and that's kind of being selfish in a way. Another thing is stick with your team. Now, in competitive gaming, it gets intense at moments with your team, especially where it comes down to the point where, you know, tensions begin to boil and people get angry. Obviously, it just happens. It's gaming. You know, you hear people yell all the time. But when it comes to the point when you're on a team and you're especially a big team like Impact or something like that. Let's talk about Impact. After Gfinity event, what happened is Impact lost Karma. Karma left to join Envy. Envy dropped Stainville for Impact, and Stainville's now on Team Methods. Impact picked up John from Evil, and Evil broke up. So within that chain reaction event, there's about 4 team roster changes right there. One broke up and one new team came together. So I mean, within one change, a lot happens. Like you might not think about it, but a lot happens within one change. And to be honest, stick with your team. You might have hard times in your team, especially if you get a new player, adapting to a new role, or even just starting out. If you get a new team especially, don't get angry at them for not doing things right away. You don't know each other's playstyles. You don't know each other's, you know, abilities yet. I mean, you might pick them because they're good. You might have scrimmed with them once and they did good, but that's different than actual playstyle and how they play the game and how they move around the map and stuff like that. There's a big difference. You gotta be patient with the team. A new team especially, you gotta be really patient with them. If they're doing something wrong, if you have a bad player, you know, show them the ropes, help them out. If you have a player who is doing stuff right but just doesn't know map movement or anything like that, help them out. Map awareness, help them out. Like, you know, help out your team any way you can. And if it's you who's doing bad on your team and you're afraid they're gonna like drop you, you know, if they're really gonna drop you because like they're not gonna help you out at all, then that's not a good team, to be honest. That's not a team I would want to be on or anyone should want to be on. Like, be on the team with good kids, with good people. People who are going to help you out, people who are going to encourage you, and people who are going to, you know, want to get better at the game together and stuff. That's what I really feel like a good team is built with and of, players like that. And this community should be more like that than dropping people and trash talking all the time. One other thing before, you know, I just want to make a quick update, really quick on this while I'm talking now. So if you don't know, in my last video, I made a video about Crucial Gaming, and Crucial Gaming has taken a turn. A lot of stuff has happened in the past month since I've been gone. I apologize for that again. I was at camp, but a lot of stuff has happened since I've been gone. And since I've been gone, Crucial Gaming has joined Legion Gaming, and they are an esports organization. They're getting pretty popular now at this point. They have really good sponsors and stuff like that. Unfortunately, what happened is they're still with Legion. Don't worry about it. But Crucial Gaming has taken a little bit of a turn for the worst. They ended up dropping the coach. So the coach or the captain / founder of the team was Nui, and he was a anchor player. He was an AR. What happened is he got dropped, and then Entire, who was the Slayer, became captain of the team, and he joined Legion with them. And then they picked up a kid named Neek, who also goes to our school, and he plays OBJ. And then they picked up Mocha and Fame. Fame plays AR, and Mocha plays OBJ. So that happened. After about 3 weeks later, after I come back from camp, what they decided to do is they see there's arguments in between the group. They weren't scrimming as they used to. They weren't as confident as they used to be. They weren't going to as many events, not events, but they weren't participating in as much ICNs. You know, I feel like they just lost their drive to really compete and go. And I feel like it wasn't everyone. I feel like it was only 1 or 2 players that weren't getting on enough and that just weren't, you know, playing as much as they should have been. And, you know, I don't want to name names, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And what ended up happening is 2 weeks later, the players who wanted to play confronted them about it. And 2 weeks later, what ended up happening is they dropped Fame, and Mocha. And the reason why they dropped Fame, let me get into this. The reason why they dropped Fame was simply because him and Entire would always butt heads. They would always argue, and they'd always they'd always get mad at each other and like have arguments in the middle of games about call outs and stuff and getting killed. And it would get to the point where they couldn't perform at their best, and so they ended up dropping Fame. Entire ended up making that decision with Neek and Mocha. Mocha ended up getting dropped, unfortunately, too. Mocha wasn't dropped because he was a bad player. He wasn't dropped because of butting heads of arguments or anything like that. He was simply dropped for the reasons of he couldn't travel to events that they wanted to participate in for another year or so. He was just too young. His parents wouldn't let him do it, and he really wanted to travel with us to events, but he just couldn't. So it didn't work out, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that happened. But so yeah, it's kind of like a Rambo situation almost in a way with Frag Cup. Unfortunately, that had to happen. It just they talked to Smokes and they talked to Scarface, and they said, you know, we really want to keep Mocha, but they said if he can't travel, then it's just got to be it. So that's what happened. So the only team roster now for Crucial Gaming is Entire and Neek. They're thinking of picking up Nui again. They're not really sure. They don't know if they want to go back to that, and they might pick up another kid named Forgetful. They don't know about that either. Right now, the team is just kind of all over the place a little bit. I'm just working on my own thing, doing some edits, focusing on YouTube, and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, this video is coming to an end, guys. I'm going to warn you right now at this very end, it looks really scary because we all get down, right? We all die here. We all die, and they have to cap the flag, and they're just running right for our flag right now. At this moment, we're like, oh shit, we got to get the flag. And we're like, bro, this is bad. So we see him running poolside. So my teammates make such a clutch play right here. Literally, you'll just watch this, but this is such a good game. Such a clutch play by my teammates right here, and they get the return right there. Nice. So this video is winding down, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be making a lot more gameplay commentaries recently. More recently, I'm gonna be doing it. My birthday is coming up soon in the next like 3 weeks, and I'm gonna get an Elgato, which will be easier for me to do voices, like listen-ins and stuff like that. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As again, this is Evade, and you know, I'm gonna be making a lot more of these guys. Just wait and see. I'll be making a lot of more content. I might be doing some edits and stuff like that in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been Evade, and peace.
Operation complete. Nice job, squad.